All right, Falcons fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is going to change everything you thought you knew about this season. And I mean everything. You think you've seen it all? You think after 4 weeks you've got this team figured out? Man, let me tell you something, what's happening behind the scenes right now, what's brewing in Flowery Branch, the moves that are being made as we speak. This is the kind of stuff that separates the pretenders from the contenders. We're talking about roster decisions that could make or break our playoff push. We're talking about injuries that had us all holding our breath. We're talking about defensive performances that are literally rewriting the history books. And yeah, we're talking about some serious questions at positions that nobody saw coming. Here's what kills me, and I've got the receipts to prove it. While everyone's been sleeping on Atlanta, while the national media has been obsessing over the same old teams, the Falcons have been quietly putting together something special on the defensive side of the ball. Something that hasn't been done in over 3 decades. But here's the catch, and this is where it gets real interesting. We've got guys coming back from injury, we've got position battles heating up, and we've got a schedule that's about to test everything we think we know about this team. The bye week is over, and the real season? It's about to begin. So the question isn't whether the Falcons are good. The question is, are they ready for what's coming next? And here's my question for you. Are you ready to be part of the 1% who actually stays locked in for the whole season? Because if you're serious about this team, if you're really about that rise up life, then show me right now. Smash that subscribe button like AJ Terrell shutting down a #1 receiver. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update. And drop a like if you believe this defense is about to shock the entire NFL. This is where we separate the real Falcons nation from the bandwagon. Let's go! First things first, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The injury report. Because coming out of this Week 5 bye, we've got some major decisions to make about who's suiting up for that massive Monday Night Football showdown against Buffalo. And let me tell you, the coaching staff has been playing this close to the vest. Head coach Raheem Morris basically gave us nothing on Monday. We'll know more after the bye week, he said. Classic coach speak, right? But I've been digging, and I've got some insider information that's going to get you fired up. Let's start with the guy we need back more than anyone, AJ Terrell. Our lockdown corner has missed the last 2 games with a hamstring issue, but here's the thing, he's trending in the right direction. And you know what Morris said? Of all the guys on the injury list, Terrell is the one he feels most confident about returning. You hear that? Most confident. Now, why does this matter? Because we're facing the Buffalo Bills in Week 6. The Bills, people. One of the most explosive offenses in the entire league. You think we're going to waltz into that primetime matchup without our CB1? No chance. We need Terrell out there locking down receivers, and from everything I'm hearing, he's going to be ready. But wait, there's more. Darnell Mooney, yeah, the guy who's had a rough start to the season, he's dealing with a hamstring issue too. But get this, Ian Rappaport, one of the most connected guys in the NFL, is reporting that Mooney is not expected to miss any games. You hear that? Not expected to miss any games. That's huge for our receiving core, especially with the way the offense has been clicking lately. Now, here's where it gets a little scary but also kind of encouraging. Natron Brooks took an absolutely brutal hit last Sunday. The kind of hit that makes you hold your breath and hope everything's okay. He's in concussion protocol right now, but here's the silver lining, the bye week came at literally the perfect time for him. He gets the rest he needs without missing a game. If he progresses through the protocol smoothly, we could see him back out there against Buffalo. And then we've got the guys on IR with designation to return. Storm Norton could be opening his practice window right around Week 6, which creates an interesting situation at right tackle. Do we stick with Elijah Wilkinson, who just had arguably his best game as a Falcon? Or does Norton make a case to reclaim his starting spot? That's a good problem to have, folks. Troy Anderson, Taquan Graham, these guys are wild cards. The windows to return could open soon, but I'm being cautiously optimistic here. When you're dealing with knee procedures and undisclosed injuries, you don't want to rush anything. The one guy I'm least confident about? Bralin Trice. he re-aggravated the same knee that cost him his entire rookie season. That's not good, and honestly, I'm not expecting to see him anytime soon. But hey, I'd love to be proven wrong. Now, let's talk about something that's going to blow your mind. Something that should have every single person in Falcons Nation jumping out of their seats right now. This defense, our defense, just accomplished something they haven't done since 1991. Let me repeat that, 1991. The same year we drafted some guy named Brett Favre. Yeah, that long ago. For 4 straight games, the Falcons have held opponents under 170 passing yards. 4 straight games. Do you understand how insane that is in today's NFL? This is a passing league. Teams are supposed to be throwing for 250, 300 yards every single week. And yet here we are, shutting down passing attacks like it's nothing. Now, I know what the doubters are going to say. But look at the quarterbacks they faced. J.J. McCarthy in his second start, Bryce Young, who's been struggling, Marcus Mariota as a backup. And you know what? Fair point. We haven't exactly faced a gauntlet of elite signal callers. But here's the thing, and this is what separates good defenses from great defenses: you're supposed to dominate weaker competition. You're supposed to make life miserable for backup quarterbacks and struggling rookies. That's what good defenses do. And let's not forget, we saw Baker Mayfield in week 1, and guess what? He's playing like one of the top quarterbacks in the league right now. And we held him in check. Let me throw some more numbers at you that are going to make you appreciate what we're witnessing here. Second in the entire NFL in opponent yards per game. 14th in points allowed per game. 11th in sacks. 7th in takeaways. 9th in sack percentage. By nearly every metric, this is a top 10 defense. Let me say that again for the people in the back, a top 10 defense. When's the last time we could say that? 2 decades? This is historic, people. Now, was the performance against Washington perfect? No. They allowed a season-high 27 points and 294 yards. But the fact that we're sitting here talking about a game where we allowed fewer than 300 yards as a letdown? That tells you everything you need to know about how far this unit has come in just 1 calendar year. This isn't the same old Falcons defense that got torched year after year. This is a legitimate, physical, opportunistic defense that's making plays and giving us a chance to win every single week. And with Terrell potentially coming back, oh man, this is about to get even better. But here's where we need to pump the brakes just a little bit and talk about reality. Because as amazing as this defensive stretch has been, as encouraging as the injury news is, we're about to face a completely different level of competition. The schedule is about to get real. We've got the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football in Week 6. Then we're hopping on a plane for a cross-country trip to face the San Francisco 49ers. These aren't the teams we've been feasting on. These are legitimate Super Bowl contenders with elite offenses and playmakers all over the field. Josh Allen and the Bills? They're going to test every single thing we think we know about this defense. Can we maintain that same level of dominance against one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the game? That's the million-dollar question. And then San Francisco? That's a different beast entirely. Even if they're dealing with their own injury issues, that's a team that knows how to win, knows how to execute, and has weapons everywhere you look. This is where championships are made or broken. This is where we find out if this defense is the real deal or if they've just been feasting on weaker competition. This is where we see if the offensive adjustments with the play caller moving to the sideline can sustain success against elite defenses. The bye week came at a pretty good time, honestly. Sitting at 2-2, with everything we want still in front of us, getting healthy at the right time, this is exactly where we need to be. But the real season? It starts now. So here's what it comes down to, Falcons Nation. We've got a defense that's playing historic football. We've got key players potentially returning from injury at the perfect time. We've got offensive adjustments that seem to work beautifully against Washington. And we've got a coaching staff that's making the right moves at the right time. But none of that matters if we can't execute when the lights are brightest and the competition is toughest. The question I want you thinking about over the next few days isn't, can the Falcons make the playoffs? We all know they can. The question is, can they rise to the occasion when it matters most? Because that Monday Night Football game against Buffalo, that's not just another game. That's a statement game. That's the kind of game that defines your season. Win that, and suddenly the national media has to start taking us seriously. Win that, and we go into San Francisco with momentum and confidence. Win that, and we prove that this isn't just a feel-good story, this is a legitimate playoff contender. So get ready, Falcons Nation. The bye week is over. The excuses are over. The easy part of the schedule? That's behind us. It's time to show the world what this team is really made of. And I, for one, cannot wait to see how this story unfolds. Go Falcons!